Hello, I'm Crystal Washington, technology strategist and futurist.
And I'm Karen McCullough, the millennial evangelist, and I help you adapt to change. And today we want you to rethink it forward.
And by rethinking it forward, we mean that there are things that have worked for you in the past that probably won't work for any of us in the future. And if we were to be really honest, they're not even all working for us right now.
That's for sure, because what we're going to talk about today,
Oh man,
I don't mean to say that they're not working, but we're going to talk about working from home with kids. So if you really think about it, for many of us, we're on week four of this.
Karen,
So
by we, do you mean me and you?
I mean we, the universe.
Oh, okay, because I don't have kids. So
I don't mean you. I mean we, the universe, right? I am the universal we. So this all started a month ago, okay? And because I don't have kids at home, and Crystal doesn't either, I decided that 2 weeks in, I put a post up on Facebook asking for help. And I said, parents, please tell me how it's working. Give me suggestions. And it's really funny because it was only 2 weeks in, and I will tell you that the suggestions, well, some were pretty strict. People that have no kids, it's interesting, and grandparents, they're tough. But if you had 2 to 3 kids at home, everything kind of softened. So I don't know how you're doing right now. I hope you're doing okay. I can imagine how hard it is. I got a call the other day from someone who was so great. He was talking to me about his insurance and trying to sell me some insurance. But in the background, I could hear kids screaming. And I sympathized with this guy because he was trying so hard to keep working. But I could tell that it was a mess back at home. So anyway, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how are you doing? So this is a great chance for you to come on, answer and give us some suggestions and put some of your thoughts down there in the messages. So what I decided to do after I got people telling me that the schedules weren't going on anymore, all of their good plans have gone to pot. Well, not literally, but maybe they have. What I thought I would do was check with Harvard Business Review. So I've got just three things. And what I'll do is I'll kind of talk, and you come on in, Crystal, if you have anything to add to that. Okay. So from that list of 10 things to do every day, it went down to 3. So number 1, the first one is easy. You've got to maintain a routine.
Wait, did you say that was easy, Karen?
Well, it's the easiest one.
Oh, okay.
You got to get up, brush your teeth. You got to have breakfast. So you've got to have a household routine. Every day can't be Saturday. You've got to get up and you've got to have a routine. And so some of the people that wrote in when I put this on Facebook, they said, okay, but my kids are staying up late at night and they're crabby. So we're letting them sleep in. So our routine doesn't start until 10. And those few hours give me so much time to get some work done. Because she said, I can only work in the morning when the kids are asleep, and I can only work at night when the kids are asleep. Rather than that, I have got to be with them all day because I have 3 kids. I have a 6-month-old, I have a 2-year-old, and I have an 8-year-old. Can you imagine what that house must be like? Yeah. So maintain a routine that works for your family, and decide what it is and honor that routine and keep that routine going. So that's number 1.
Well, and Karen, I'll say this. So I'm not a parent, but I'm a TT. I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I have one nephew here in Houston that I spend a lot of time with. Typically, not right now because social distancing, but we're still retaining much of his schedule because he's going to school via Zoom. So he's actually in school the same amount of time. That's the way his school district decided to work with it. He's just going in and out of different classrooms instead of his normal teachers. And so just as before, when he'd physically have to go to school, he's woken up at the exact same time. He showers, he puts on his uniform. My mother she calls it Kathy's Country Kitchen. She gets up early to make him a big breakfast, right? While his mother's taking care of the baby, my mom makes literally like a big IHOP type breakfast for him every single morning. Then I call him before school starts like I did before. He'd be in his car on his way to school, except now we joke and I say, you're walking your way to school, which is in the living room, right? And I just tell him, you're going to have a great day. What do you think you're going to learn today? Just getting him fired up, just like I did for a normal school day. And then we end with paper, rock, scissor battle, which he's just better than I am at it. And then after he wins, he's like, and then we get off, FaceTime, and he's ready to go for the day. So we found that, trying to keep everything as normal as possible even in the strange circumstance, it gives children a sense of normalcy.
Well, they need it. I mean, being an ex-teacher, I know that they need routine and they need a schedule. And it also gives them some sort of something to hang on to.
I forgot you were a teacher too. Karen, what haven't you done?
I started off that way. I have a master's in library science, but that's another whole talk. Yeah. Which actually has helped me when we get into this, because I'm helping my grandkids right now, but we'll talk about that in a second, some of the things that we're doing.
Okay.
The next one is really interesting. It says, create a modified schedule that fits your family. So the first thing I got when I put this up on Facebook was really funny, because it definitely had to be project managers, because they were all talking about these charts. I don't know what they're called, but it was like, this is our intention. This is what we're doing. This is what we got done. And I just wonder how long that's lasting with your family. How you doing with that one? So what I heard from so many of the families is that they do have some sort of a schedule. And one of the families that I talked to, they start every morning with a morning meeting. And they have the 7-year-old, he wears a hat. I have pictures of it. His name is Jack. And they video the morning meetings and then they send it out to the grandparents. But they go through what the expectations are for the day. And I thought that was really, really cool. Another thing that they put on their list is fun things. So not only in your schedule do you have the work, but you also have the rewards, the schedule. And some people are giving stickers, some people are giving little Post-it notes, whatever, to keep track of the points that they get in order to have their reward, just to kind of really motivate the kids to stay on some sort of a schedule and some sort of a learning capacity.
I like that.
Yeah. What do you have?
Well, outside of that, I mean, we covered most of it in the last one regarding scheduling, but I think this is where it's important to just be gentle with yourself, because I have a lot of friends with children right now that are typically very organized people, but everyone's stressed out too. So I think as long as you're building in some flexibility in that schedule and you realize that sometimes it's going to have to go out the window, or even if you want to stick to it, pad it heavily so that, when things get off track, if somebody has a meltdown or whatever else, you can pick it back up and be okay. So just be gentle with yourselves. This is not, these are children. They're not in the military.
My daughter, Meredith, she's got 2 boys under the age of 7, and she does a lot of conference calls. She has a full-time job. And so I have to be flexible. My schedule has to be flexible, because what we do when she has a call, I then take over. And so we do a Zoom meeting. So I give all the homework and I talk to Jack, and I do it every day. So today it was at 11, some days it's at 2, just trying to help. So for you out there, you aunts, just like you are, and you grandparents, this is a chance for you and friends and neighbors that when you see your friends struggling with really working at home with kids, this is a chance for you to help. Jack looks forward to the meetings. He really is excited about it. And we've had some fun. We play games. We do a lot of different things through Zoom, because I have to fill sometimes an hour and a half. And so I am glad I have that teaching behind me. So the next one is really interesting. It's find new ways to do old things. Find new ways to do old things. And this is pretty simple. So when you're cooking, you can teach fractions. When you're cooking, have them do the measurements, double the recipe, triple the recipe if you have to, just so that they can begin to figure out what the ingredients are and you can do math. I always love cooking with those kids, and it's really fun. I just never thought about having them actually do the measuring. So now I know that I'm going to help them with their math. Or go outside with them, give them a tape measure, have them measure the circumference of a tree. But we've got to begin to think about how we can really put learning into all of the things that we do on an everyday basis.
We're basically enrolling all of our children in home Montessori school for the most part, right? So this is a great opportunity to take everything that's in their environment and try to make it more relatable. And true, I think most of us at some point when we were in school ourselves were like, what does this have to do with anything? Well, the great thing as a parent, now you have an opportunity to show them with just things that are around the house, whether it's taking them out into the yard for gardening, whether it's cooking, like Karen said, whether it's you have a leak under the sink and you're showing them how plumbing works.
Right.
No matter what, I mean, there's so many amazing life skills and learning opportunities at our fingertips if we're just open to them, and sometimes it is hard to be open when we're stressed out, we're just trying to make it. But I just encourage everybody to try to be open, because sometimes these experiences are what will keep the kids' attention even more than those Zoom calls or the worksheets that they're working on at home.
Right. And I think thinking of rewards, I think it's really important to begin to have rewards because they miss their friends.
Yeah.
They're sad. They're lonely. They may have a Zoom call with their classmates, but that's not like playing with them. That's not like going outside and getting on the jungle gym and touching. They can't even touch jungle gyms today. I mean, it's so bizarre. And if we think it's bizarre, think of what they're going through. So you've got to really make it fun. One of the ideas that I got from one of the families that I talked to was a reward, and it was a reward that came from, I don't know if any of you watched the reality show Lego Masters. We're going to talk about games on Friday, and I'm going to share that game with you. But the kids actually score points, and they get these little discs. And when they get 10 discs, they can play this Lego Masters game, and it's a lot of fun. And they think about it all the time because it includes the whole family. So I think you've got to begin to think of rewards that are teachable, the teaching moments in it, but that are also fun, and give the kids something to look forward to.
And I love that you're closing with doing old things in a new way. Karen, something I just saw 3 days ago is that one of my girlfriends has a daughter who I think she's maybe about 3 or 4. And so what she did was she missed all of her friends, and her friends are spread out all over the place. And so they send out the little email invitations and text message to the parents, a tea party invitation. And so they all had a virtual tea party. All the mommies prepared little tea for the little girls. They had their little finger sandwiches. They were all dressed up. And here they were on Zoom, all having tea together and chatting. And so we can make this fun for the kids, and we can make it fun for the parents as well. Just take a moment to breathe, think about what the kids will enjoy, think about what you'll enjoy, and then just let's make the best out of what we have.
And don't be so stuck on that schedule. Let it go. Let it go for a while. You've got to just keep your sanity, keep everybody as happy as possible, get a little bit of work done, and maybe drink a little wine.
Ooh. And with that, let's go and drink some wine.
Bye, everybody.